Get ready, start. My suggestion is that one of the functions of the Commission, as envisaged in Clause 11, should further be amplified by the addition of a new clause, namely that all such agreements which the Government of India would enter upon must be referred to the Statutory Commission for its opinion before they are finally accepted, ratified, or confirmed by the Government of India. The reason for this is that it is an expert body, it is a body which will be dealing with such matters on the technical side from time to time. It will have a well equipped technical personnel at its disposal to avail of and to pronounce such an opinion. It will consist of persons who will be well versed in matters of industry and commerce. This is one of the conditions of appointment for membership. Consequently, my submission is that the government should think and the select committee should think why a particular clause to that effect be not added amongst the normal and ordinary functions of this commission. Without such a clause, I submit it will be greatly hampering and restricting the activities and recommendations of the tariff board. Take the case of the Havana Charter. It is not today within the functions of this commission. The government will not be bound to refer this question of Havana Charter before it ratifies the opinion of this commission. It is an essential matter. Suppose the government ratifies that, the decision of the Government of India will have a greater effect upon the day-to-day working of the Tariff Commission, as also upon matters that will come for decision before the Tariff Commission. Now, sir, the Fiscal Commission by its majority have recommended that this Havana Charter may be ratified. Though it is not an occasion for me to enter into the question as to the merits of this proposition, I think it my duty that the view expressed by the majority is entitled to the greatest respect at our hands, but still it is a view which must be accepted with the greatest caution. We are an exceptionally underdeveloped industrial country, and we have to see what advantage we will have by ratifying the Havana Charter. It presupposes the question of the regimentation of all domestic economics under the guidance of an international trade organization like the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. I submit that this international trade organization will be bound to be dominated by vested interests by those countries which are at the pinnacle of their industrial glory today, and their interests are in direct conflict with our interests as an underdeveloped country. They will naturally be interested in stabilizing the existing pattern of industrialization in the world, so that the markets which have been the markets for their products for so many centuries may be preserved for them in future. It has been stated by the majority of the Fiscal Commission that our being a party to this Havana Charter will necessarily imply surrender of our commercial and fiscal autonomy to the jurisdiction of an international tribunal, and we have to see whether such a surrender of our fiscal autonomy in such an underdeveloped stage of our industry will be in the best interests of the country. Sir, what is the positive gain that we are likely to have by entering into an agreement or by ratifying this Havana Charter? Is there any guarantee that the International Trade Organization will afford chances, facilities, and resources for the development of the underdeveloped countries? There is no such guarantee. There is no guarantee given by the International Trade Organization to arrange for the inflow of foreign capital within our four corners. There is no guarantee for making the technical personnel available to us. There is no guarantee for making available capital goods to us. If there is no such guarantee, I think that it will not be in the interests of the country to ratify the Havana Charter, and my submission is that it should be the normal duty and function of the Tariff Commission that all such questions must necessarily be referred to the Tariff Commission for its consideration, discussion, and recommendation, and it is only after going through the views of the Tariff Commission that the government should take a decision whether it is to act in a particular manner or not. Similar is the question of imperial preference. I ask a specific question of my honorable friend, the sponsor of the bill. Will it be incumbent hereafter for the government to inquire about the views of this commission on this important matter? Now, this imperial preference has been before this country for a number of years, from 1932 up to the present time, but the policy of the government has not changed in that respect. Full stop.